Today's topic: the 4 Koch's postulates. Whoever claims a pathogen must be able to verify this pathogen. Welcome to International Academy Germanische Heilkunde by Dr.Hamer, MD. My name is John Holledauer. At GHK Academy, I represent the original seminar program, according to Dr. Hamer, in the English language. The famous Robert Koch, from whom the institute of the same name in Germany takes his name, agreed with Louis Pasteur that microbes were pathogens. Koch defined pathogen detections in the so-called Koch's postulates. Koch's postulates should therefore be in the basic statutes of the RKI, the Robert Koch Institute. At least they should be known to the professors there. These Koch's postulates are simplified as follows. First, the pathogen must be detectable and isolatable in the diseased tissue of an individual. Second, the pathogen must be able to cultivate it in pure form. Third, the cultivated pathogen must be able to cause the same disease again in a healthy individual. Fourth, the pathogen must be able to be isolated again. Unless these 4 postulates are fulfilled, no pathogen is scientifically proven. So far, in accordance with the specification of Robert Koch, such proof is never been produced, and it cannot be scientifically proven with any microbe. This is because this postulate contradicts biological laws of nature, according to which such a pathogen cannot exist at all, and thus stand against the laws of nature. Every wrong assertion is powerless and exposed as a fantasy when applied to the laws of nature. In this video, I will show you exactly what is unfulfillable about Koch's postulates. First of all, a few explanations. Conventional medicine counts fungi, bacteria, and viruses as allegedly disease-causing microbes. There is still the combined form of fungus bacteria or mycobacteria, which is half fungus and half bacteria. According to conventional medicine, mycobacteria are also the cause for pulmonary tuberculosis, which is nonsense. Fungi, bacteria, and also mycobacteria are independent living beings. They have their metabolism and can also reproduce. So, these microbes can be bred, just as pretty much all creatures can be bred. On the other hand, the virus is not claimed to be an independent living creature. It is supposed to be only a few atoms in size. The virus should be able to attach itself to the gene substance of a previously healthy host cell. Through the following cell division of the host cell, this virus or this gene substance is to be copied. Therefore, we can hardly speak of virus multiplication. Actually, we should call it the copying of the virus. But no matter. To do the cell division of the host cell, there is now 2 such viruses instead of 1. Therefore, conventional medicine can speak of a multiplication of the virus. In the case of the alleged virus-related autoimmune disease AIDS, the conventional medical therapy is, therefore, a cytostatic therapy, which kills each cell during cell division. This also prevents the virus from multiplying, at least in the thinking pattern of conventional medicine. The 4th biological law of nature discovered by Dr. Hamer, the ontogenetic conditioned system of microbes, elaborates in detail the fungi and fungal bacteria multiplying in the organism from the conflict shock, DHS, in a sympathicotonic called conflict active phase, while the bacterium multiply from the conflict resolution onwards in the vagotonic warm healing phase. General knowledge also includes the fact that fungi can be grown in a cold and moist environment, but bacteria can only be grown in a warm incubator, a phenomenon that is not allowed to be examined in detail in conventional medicine. In this case, conventional medicine would have to include the human psyche in its approach, which is precisely what they try to avoid. The doctrine of conventional medicine is that the diseases have nothing to do with the psyche. Now we come to the first Koch's postulate, the proof of the suspected pathogen in the diseased tissue. In the case of a fungus, bacterium, or mycobacterium, this detection is not difficult due to its size and can be done with a light microscope. But with the virus, conventional medicine has considerable difficulties due to its molecular size, which is also pointed out in the extensive literature surrounding this controversial PCR test. After all, one is trying to pinpoint a specific grain of sand in a big pile of sand called the cell. Virus detection is anything but reliable. However, with the virus, not even the first Koch's postulate could be fulfilled, not even to a certain extent. In other words, one cannot be 100% sure that the virus one is looking for in a patient is the virus one is searching for. It could also be another grain of sand from this cell. The second Koch's postulate demands the cultivation of the isolated pathogen in pure form. This is possible with the suitable environment for fungi, bacterium, and fungal bacterium, as I have already acknowledged. But how should one cultivate a virus in pure form, since this virus always needs a host for its multiplication? There is no such thing as breeding a virus in its pure form. Conventional medicine uses all kinds of tricks to propagate viruses. And what exactly it reproduces in this process cannot be determined with any certainty. The all-decisive point, however, is the impossible proof of Koch's first postulate. Here, the proof is to be provided that this microbe excites a disease or is the cause of the disease. This microbe, now isolated and grown under pure form, is supposed to cause the same disease symptoms in a healthy individual. And this is not possible according to Dr. Hamer's fourth biological law of nature. Now, one must know that every infection or inflammation always represents a vagotonic healing phase. No microbe can cause a healing phase by itself. Rather, the healing phase, started by the conflict resolution, induces the microbe to begin its actual work, the task. Namely, the old brain-controlled tumors developed before in the conflict-active phase tuberculously degrade, or the new brain-controlled holes developed before fill up again. Microbes are nature's surgeons and invariably work only in the vagotonic healing phase. In other words, in order to catch a microbe at work, this event must have been preceded by conflict-active phase, including the conflict resolution. The confusion of cause and effect can best be seen in the firefighter. Just because you can see this firefighter in every major fire, you cannot claim that he is the cause of the fire. Everyone knows that the firemen fight fires, they do not start them. And it is similar with the microbes. No microbe can initiate a healing phase symptom simply because it is placed into a healthy organism. Therefore, according to the fourth biological law of nature, Koch's first postulate can never be fulfilled. This cannot be done with the fungus nor the bacterium, nor with the mycobacterium nor the virus. In other words, and somewhat more concretely formulated, there are no pathogens and therefore no contagion exists. Since this circumstances is probably most challenging to understand for the majority, I would like to explain it with an example in more detail. After every war, as is well known, lung tuberculosis increases. Lung tuberculosis is the healing phase of a lung round nodule. The cause of a lung cancer and therefore the cause of lung tuberculosis is the fear of death conflict. During the war, many people reacted with a fear of death conflict, understandable, and consequently with a lung round nodule. Translated from the biological language, it means death if you can't breathe. I must die now. The biological sense, thereby, is the lung tumor itself. In the conflict-active phase, the lung alveoli increases, whereby the organism can better absorb air, in order to be able to solve this death conflict better. These people can solve the fear of death if the war is over. The proliferation of lung alveoli stops. With the conflict resolution, the brain switches on the mycobacterium, which have multiplied in the active phase, so that they now break down this no longer needed lung nodule, tuberculously. In this healing phase, the affected person often coughs up blood, and conventional doctors diagnose pulmonary tuberculosis. If the conventional doctor were to take a mycobacterium from this pulmonary tuberculosis patient and implant it into a healthy person who does not have a pulmonary nodule in the healing phase, this would not trigger pulmonary tuberculosis in this healthy person. Period. With this sensible biological special program of the lung alveoli, conventional medicine diagnoses lung round nodule cancer in the conflict-active phase. And in the healing phase, they diagnose pulmonary tuberculosis. Incredible, isn't it? In conventional medicine, these two diagnoses refer to two very different diseases. In reality, these two phases belong together like a tandem. The cause of lung tumor is fear of death. The cause of lung tuberculosis is the resolution of this fear of death. At the end of this tuberculosis healing phase, this pulmonary lung round nodule is degraded by the mycobacterium, and the carbon is left. The lung tumor has disappeared. Now, conventional medicine tends to speak of a miracle. The miracle of spontaneous healing is to do this mycobacteria and their work. Microbes are not our enemies, as conventional medicine thinks. They are our surgeons, our garbage men, who clear away the no longer needed lung tumor. The fourth Koch's postulate, the re-isolation of the pathogen, which must be identical to the original, already fails because of the non-fulfillment of the first Koch's postulate, and does not need to be further discussed. Getting back to the major point of this video, the Robert Koch Institute has no clear evidence proving the existence of a virus for any so-called pandemic outbreak hyped by the medias and by the medical community. Nor can it provide evidence that a virus is the cause of a disease for any illness, such as flu, cold, or cough. The question to be asked is, on what basis do our politicians make their decisions regarding lockdowns? Are they all following their orders from the Deep State Directive? Concluding remark. Up to now, conventional medicine has not been able to present a single proof of any microbe to be a pathogen. If it could, Dr. Hamer's fourth biological law of nature would be scientifically disproved. Mother Nature creates no evil. The only evil is the sectarians who want to disassemble and roll over this creation. These sectarians want to play God, but they are true devils. Goodbye, until the next video.
Germanische Heilkunde is considered by those who have understood its underlying principles to be the most significant discovery in known human history. While conventional medicine is based on more than 5,000 hypotheses, Germanische Heilkunde can be proven at any time to be the only medicine that is scientifically verifiable. With Germanische Heilkunde, for the first time in recorded human history, there is a scientifically verifiable medicine for each patient case. More than 30 medical universities have already confirmed this in the past. Still, Dr. Hamer's discoveries have been suppressed and denigrated for over 40 years. Take your health into your own hands and learn Germanische Heilkunde while you are still healthy. For this purpose, the GHK International Academy offers you an extensive program of seminar tutorials from the basics through the organ level to the psychoses. This seminar program will change your relationship with your body and your health once and for all. You will find the direct link to the homepage of the GHK International Academy below the video.